Welcome, fantasy people, back for another week. We just wrapped up week 14
Week
of
14.
the fantasy football season.
The second to
And
last week before the fantasy playoffs.
yeah, and playoff spots are starting to get locked up. And this
Yep.
week, with a very decisive win, you managed to lock up the second of four playoff spots.
I got a few more points than Michael this week. A few. About 111 points more than he did.
Yeah,
So I think last week we were talking about like there was always the possibility that I really like drastically underperformed and he drastically overperforms. And
because
because I
that happened to me last time I had played him. So it was
exactly.
a realistic possibility. It didn't,
So with
it wasn't a
106
hot
points
take.
projected for me and 68 points projected for Michael, it was a possibility. It was like, okay, this is possible. But I actually way overperformed and he underperformed.
Yeah,
So off of 68 points, he only got 49 points, and off of 106 points, I got over 160 points.
yeah. If you just flip the zero and the six there, that's
Yeah,
what you actually got. Nobody, including myself, saw Josh Allen coming this week.
51, almost 52 points. That was
So
insane.
in my main league, where I keep passing touchdowns as 6 points instead
Yeah.
of 4 points,
Hmm.
he had almost 60 points. He put up 58.
Oh my goodness gracious.
And I
Oh
was
man.
so happy because I won 5 out of 6 leagues this week.
5 out of 6.
And
Look at
it
that.
was just crazy. Um so I was able to overperform. Brentwood dropped the ball massively by scoring 31 less points than what they were projected. He was supposed to be hit at 103. I was projected at 97, overperformed to 123.
Mm,
Not going to complain about that. I have solidified myself as the 1 seed in the league.
yeah.
Um, and by you winning, and because I took Brentwood out, all you got to do is win now, baby. And
I don't even have to
you've
win the
got,
next one.
no,
I
you
don't even
don't
have.
have to, but if you do, you solidify yourself as the 2 seed, guaranteeing that
Oh, I
you
already
and I
have.
will not. We No, because
No, he's
you could still be
Brent's at.
9-6.
If I'm at 9-6, and
Yeah.
if Brentwood wins or Stinky wins, they're at 9-6. I'm over 100 points higher than
Oh,
Brent
yeah. Nope, I see you. Yeah, because you're the both eight
because
and
of
six
points.
teams. Oh
I have
yeah.
secured my spot.
Well,
I'm actually like
again,
what 13 points away from you now.
never,
I was
never say never though, because of the fact that what what I just saw this week was, man, it was the most fun I have ever had in fantasy football because I was on the winning end for once. And I put up numbers I have never put up in my life. I've had some really good teams where I've put up 80, 158, I don't know
Mhm.
if I ever cleared 160. I cleared 180 this week.
Dang.
180
In one of your leagues.
in one of my leagues. Yeah. So in my main league, I was really close. My main league, I hit 178, I believe.
Wow.
Um, dude, I mean Josh Allen, and then
52 points.
we're both wearing his jersey uh, today. Justin Jefferson went off for 132 yards and 2 tutties. So I mean that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Um, it was. I mean, it's been over a month since Justin Jefferson hit the end zone, but yeah, 174. Um, now I
Yeah,
was
I
playing
was
my one
surprised.
of
Keanu Smith or Jonnu Smith. I was because I was looking at like on Sunday, I
Yeah.
was looking at my scores, and I was at like he had scored like nothing all game, and I
Mhm.
was looking at my score, and it was like fourth quarter, like I think there was like I don't know how much, there was some time on the clock, 0 points, and I was like, great. I put in Jonnu Smith, and he just bombs for me this week, and then because he was a backup because Dalton Schultz was my primary tight end, and so
Oh, but
I
he was on bye this week. Yeah.
he's on bye this week, so I swapped him out, and so I was like, great, my substitute just bombed on me, and then he ends up scoring. And then I look later after the games are over, and he scored 11.9 points in the fourth quarter,
No,
close
is he
to the
with
end.
Tennessee?
Miami. He's with the
Miami. Yeah.
Dolphins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Man,
But yeah,
I'm just ecstatic because I have one team that's completely eliminated from the playoffs, and then I have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams I got locked into a playoff spot. Technically, I'm playing for a playoff spot this week, but I might need some help points wise to get in, to sneak in if I do win. Um, but I mean, overall, pretty good.
yeah.
Man,
And on
scoring
this
a lot
league,
of points is fun. Just
yeah.
like watching the Vikings put 42 points on an opponent and double them up is so much fun.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'll digress here. Back to this past week and everything. Yeah, didn't have like the best week. 123 points. Absolutely take it.
Yeah.
That was a ton of fun.
I was definitely
Um,
yeah, I've definitely caught up to you a little bit. Because now as far as points go, you are definitely the highest as far as points go.
yes.
I have taken the second spot. Um over Most Wanted, who is in fifth place. He used to have the most points at one point, but I think it was it was week 13 if I'm remembering correctly.
Hmm.
That you scored. Yeah, you scored 158 points, which got you like it just put
Oh
you
yeah,
above everybody else.
yep, I jumped up above and then maintained despite your nice 160 outing. The
Yeah,
funny
just
thing is,
13 points above me though. So
yeah, so Buffalo got me -4 points.
yep.
I mean they usually have a good defense. I expected them to do more than what they did, so that was just a bad call on my end. And then I started Calvin Ridley, who scored 9.4 points against 10.7. Normally, I would take that as a win, when you get close to your projected, especially when I have my number one wide receiver on bye, my number one quarterback on bye, my defense on bye, Derrick Henry on bye, and then Jonathan Taylor on bye. So I'm really thin on the bench. Like almost my entire bench was on bye this week,
Except for
except for Jordan
Jordan
Addison,
Addison.
who went for 133 yards and a career high 3 reception touchdowns in a single game for
35 points.
35 points.
Oof.
Could
Oh wow,
you
yeah. I am
imagine?
looking at your bench, and
Have
it's like it is zeros across the
It's
board,
just zeros.
except for him.
Like, could you imagine if I would have played Jordan Addison, which I have him in quite a few leagues, and I benched him in most of my leagues
Yeah,
because he's been so boomer bust. It's just like he's a very good wide receiver for the Vikings.
when
It's
he's
just
good.
the way the Vikings get played, like the way teams play defensively against Minnesota because they have Justin Jefferson.
Hmm.
Like Jordan Addison usually does pretty good, but he hasn't quite got to that point where like I trust him every single week. Now in hindsight, yeah, like him over Calvin Ridley, probably like an obvious choice. Because Calvin Ridley's like way more bust than boom.
Mm.
Um, but man, I'm just like lamenting about how, that's
An extra 20 points.
25 points, 25 points. And then if I would have just put like, just about any other defense, if that would have gotten me 0, that would have been an extra 4 points. You just,
If you stuck
oh
with
yeah.
Denver and they didn't even play.
Denver on a bye would have gotten me more points than Buffalo. That's what's sad.
Oh man, yeah.
That's yeah.
Denver
I
on
mean,
high
yeah.
would have been a better choice.
Yeah. And when you put it that way, and you're like, well, add 29 points to where I'm at. Well, I would have been at 151, and instead of you catching up to me, I
I just would have moved up slightly.
Oh yeah, you would have went up by like 9 points instead of 38. So I'd still have that. I'm not worried though. With the wins, you're not catching me anyways. So
yeah, I mean you've still got your win loss is 11-3, mine is 9-5.
Yeah. Even if I lose this week, you still can't catch me.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
You'd have had to have lost last week and this week,
right?
Or week 14 and 15, for a chance, and I'd have had to win 14 and 15 and get way more points than you to steal that first seed spot.
Yeah,
but at this point, you're secure. We're both secured in our first and second place spots.
We're locked in.
Nothing can happen to move us from where we are.
I had some crazy stuff in ESPN. I had one of my teams put up 201 points.
200. Whoa!
And the sad part was I had points on my bench that would have made it higher.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's outrageous, dude. And I think the guy played like, it was like one of those people that just like they draft and have a team, but then they don't play the team.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've seen with Michael's team. And
because he had like 2 guys on bye. That was just a wide receiver and actually 2 wide receivers were on bye, and he's
so
with I mean, and he even has like a running back that has a projected of 2 points.
Yeah,
I mean, even
you can tell he's not playing at all, and it was just like you get up against those guys and they score like 50 points. So like you're like, oh yeah, I outscored you by 150 points this week. That's cool, but it's
with his current team, he could have bumped it up. Let's see, 4. Let's see. Actually, it's about 43. Let's see here. Yeah, because he's got 3 wide receivers on bench, and you could swap out both of his main wide receivers. One has like 7 points, one is on bye, and swap out his flex, which is on bye, and have about 50 points more.
Mm-hmm.
And then swap out his quarterback, and you get an extra 4 points there.
Yeah.
Granted, that
not
projected
that
wasn't
mattered.
higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he could have gotten close to like 100 points,
right?
Based off of what he has,
right?
Which would have been projected to be like 110 points, which would have been higher than what I had, and that's not even including swapping out one of his running backs, which is projected at 2 points, for someone who's projected at maybe 8 or 9 points, from a player elite. Just looking at the top one, 7 points. If you just picked up one of the top ones, 7 or 8 points, he could have just picked up a player that is just sitting on the roster, and that just gives you an extra 6 points. So,
yep. But this week, man, it is so nice being like locked into first and everything. Um, Not that like I don't feel like I'm gonna gain any advantage to playing whoever ends up being in fourth place over like third. Um, but like this week, I'm playing Alfonso's team with seventh place, and we are just like dead nuts even in projection right now. 113.54 to 113.55.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like literally
So,
neck and neck.
oh yeah, it's like this is one of those things. It's like obviously, like as we've learned throughout this season here, projected means nothing.
It
It
it,
gives
it,
you
it,
a
it mean- it means a little bit.
baseline,
It gives you a little insight into kind of how things could look.
right?
But whoever's
But
projected
any
more over
given,
the other,
oh yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
really
I
like
mean,
that it
any
can
given
swing
week,
30 points either way.
oh
Um
yeah, or
it
more.
like just because you're project I mean even last week with week 14, um your projected was like 96 and
Yeah, it was 97 and I hit 123. So it's like, I mean, that's a what 30 point swing or so.
who were you up against last week?
Just under
uh
Brentwood.
Brentwood, yeah, that's right, Brentwood. And
Yeah,
Brentwood had a
yeah,
projected of like 106 or something like that.
yeah. It
And
literally swung down 30
and
points.
you
So
guys literally you
that's a
guys
60
swapped.
point swing. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's almost a 60-point swing right there. So
yeah. So
like
you
it's one of those things where like with the projected, you try not to be like too um like married to the idea of like what it is.
yeah.
But when you see this and it's like if I'm fighting to try to get fourth place this week and I see that I'm 113 to 113, like I'm sweating a little bit
Oh yeah.
because season's on the line. It's win or go home, and when you're this close and you want it, like it's um you like to have a little bit of like padding there, like 113 to 107. you know,
Hmm.
having some points to kind of give, because it's not gonna go the way it's projected to begin with.
Hmm.
Um, so man, like I go into this week and I just set a lineup without overthinking it, and I can just be carefree about it and let it ride. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like at this point, I'm playing for pride. I mean, going 12-3 is an impressive feat, right? Like 3 losses over 15 games.
That's pretty
Hopefully
good.
3 losses over 17 games and I win a championship, right? But like, even if I go in 11-4, that's nothing to be upset about. Um, so I can relax this week a little bit, um, which is nice because I got to grind it out in a few more leagues to try to lock down playoff positioning and stuff in other leagues. Which my main league, I was able to actually lock down a playoff spot with a win. So
That's good. That's good.
super happy about that. Guaranteed in the playoffs. Currently number one in that league as well.
That's good. That's
Um,
good.
yeah, came on
What's your
strong.
win loss in your main league?
9-5, I believe.
Oh, my score.
That that league is so that's a keeper league. That's a dynasty league.
Hmm.
Um, so we keep 2 players every year. You get to choose which two you're going to keep, and then you build a roster around it. Um, this is, man, is this the second or third year? I think this might be the third year that we're doing this now.
Hmm.
Um, like, damn, dude, you want to talk about competitive? Like, what I'll say for this is with the Dynasty League, um, what's really nice is like, let's say you have a really bad draft,
Hmm.
right? And your team is just crap one year, but you have like one or two good players, but the rest of the team just total bust.
Right.
and you keep those two players, and then you come back next year and you draft, and you actually draft a little bit better, and now you have a better team. And instead of kind of rolling the dice and hoping that you get a good draft pick and positioning and all that other stuff, this is really tightly contested. So I'm 10-4, so
Mhm.
not 9-5. I'm 10-4.
Okay.
Currently 5 points behind the leading scorer in the league, who is in 7th place. I'm in first. So it goes 10-4, 9-5, 8-6, 8-6, 7-7, 7-7, 6-8, and then even the bottom three teams in the league are all 5-9, which is pretty solid because I'm pretty sure if you look at our league, like your bottom teams are like 2-3 wins,
Well, Michael
almost
has a
guaranteed.
4-10. Bruno and
Really?
Jimbo are 8 and 9, and they're both 5-9. With Alfonso
Okay.
at 7 being a 6-8. 5-6
Okay.
most wanted, and Casey at 7-7.
Yep. Yep.
Brentwood and Stinky are 8-6, and then I'm
Okay.
9-5. You're 11-3. So
Damn.
it's kind of
That's pretty
evened out.
similar. That's
Yeah.
pretty similar to what, like the standings I have in here. Like I have one more loss in this one than in our league, and then 10th place has one more win than 10th place in our league. Otherwise, everything else falls the same. That's crazy. That's actually really cool to see that. How kind of congested things are because it means it's competitive.
Yeah.
It's not like because I am in a couple leagues where it's like one of my leagues, I locked in a playoff spot like 2 weeks ago
Mm.
because you have the top four teams and the rest of the league is just crap.
Mm.
And so everybody's just running away with wins all the time.
Yeah.
Unless you play each other, So unless you play one of the top four teams. Um so whew. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
trying to think.
in our league,
One,
because
six.
like Casey, because like Casey and Most Wanted, they were up pretty high a couple weeks ago. I mean, Casey started off as number 1,
Oh yeah.
and he was up there while you were climbing your way back up the ladder.
Right.
And then I was fighting with Casey for that number 1 spot. I ended up taking it over from him when he lost his first game. and then it was you and I at the top, and Casey was
Mm-hmm.
3rd, and then I think Brentwood and Stinky and Casey all were all above me, pushing me all the way down to number 5.
Yeah.
And within the last couple weeks now, I'm number 2, stuck at number 2. Casey's dropped all the way down to 6th place,
Right.
and dropped down. As far as points go, he's pretty low on the points. You're at
Is he?
1601. I'm at
Right.
1588. Most Wanted is at 1577. Alfonso's at 1513. Most Wanted is 5th place, and Alfonso is 7th place. And then you have Casey at 1502, with Bruno at 1500. Bruno being 8th place, Casey being at 6th place. In 3rd place, we have Brentwood at 1480, then Stinky at 1456 at 4th place. And then Jimbo at 1435, and then Michael all the way down there with 1071. So it's
Yeah.
um
So you got a lot of you got four
all over the
teams
place.
that are all playing for 2 playoff spots this week. Just
Actually,
like in my other league. Yeah, because
technically, yeah.
if you think about it, so I got to look
If
at
Brentwood and
so
Stinky
if Brentwood
lose,
and Stinky lose, Most Wanted and Casey's team, if they both win, they're already got more
yeah,
points. So
it's
like
it's a total
the
flip because
the best shot would be Brentwood losing and outscoring Casey by 23 points to be able to slip into number 4. That would be
Yeah.
the only way. Because most wanted at 1577, he's got over 120 points on Stinky, who's in the 4th spot, and then he's still got almost 100 points more than Brentwood. So that, like,
Mhm.
if he wins and either of those two lose, he's in, locked in. Casey, he could slip up a little bit, and I know he had, like, honestly, for half-ass, like, paying attention this year, Casey's done pretty good in his first year.
Yeah,
So
pretty
we
decently. I
could
mean,
we
yeah,
could see two rookies in the playoffs this year.
yeah.
But
So
I tell
if
you
we're
what,
oh wait,
the
hold on. Casey's
steal.
going up against me. So and
Oh,
right now I'm trending 9 points over Casey.
yeah.
So if I win, then Casey's out.
Damn, when I see him at work tomorrow, I'm gonna have to tell him, be like, hey, you gotta you gotta put your A game on because you're playing my brother this week, and if you win with a little bit of help, ooh,
As
I don't think he's gonna get the help though.
oh
Did
wait,
you
hold
see
on, hold on. Look,
Stinky's
Stink
playing Michael's team, and then Most Wanted's playing Jimbo's team. So like, unless Jimbo puts something together, like,
Jimbo and Most Wanted can go either way. Oh wait, Brentwood is playing Bruno. That could go either way. I mean, it's a 5 point difference. Jimbo and Most Wanted, it's about an eight
yeah,
point
that
difference. It
one's
could go either
in
way.
Bruno's fit. Yeah, yeah.
Um, unless
I'm
Michael
gonna
really
still tell him.
overperforms because he's got nobody on bye this week, so he's got
Yeah,
88 points.
yeah.
So if he
He,
overperforms and Stinky underperforms, or even if Michael really like overperforms by like 20 points, then um Stinky's out. So
yeah.
it's honestly it can go any which way on any team. Um, for you,
And
it doesn't matter.
it's all coming down to the last week for these guys. You
Yeah,
know, yeah. For you, you could just sit all your players. Like some NFL teams do, just sit their players. In the last game because they're locked into the seed they're in.
I
Um,
mean, I'm
except
liking
it
my
doesn't
lineup
matter because
for this week
you don't have to
because
worry
I
about
don't have anybody on bye. Um, all my injured players are gone. Um, so I'm looking good because I've got Josh Allen, I've got Nico Collins, Jerry Judy. Let's see, what did he do last week? I think he was on the bench. Yeah, he did overperform a little bit. I think
it.
what was it? Um, oh, it was a couple weeks ago. He got like 36 points. Um, I think I was looking. Okay, yeah, it was just the last 2 weeks I've had him. Um, so I put in Jerry Judy. My running backs, I'm feeling good about everybody. See, with the exception of my tight end, I did decide to use Jonnu Smith again, since he did end up performing well for me this last week. Um,
So you want to
most
know
everybody is
something
on double
crazy?
digits, so we're looking good.
You want to
Hmm?
know something crazy?
What's crazy?
This year, when I score 100 points, so when I hit triple digits,
Hmm.
I am 11-0 when I score 100 points or more.
Wait, what? So
So
if you score
this
over
year,
100 points in
if
our
I
league,
scored if I scored over 100 points in our league this year, I won.
so the only 3 times that you lost a game, you were under 100 points.
I was under 90 points for those 3 losses. Week 1, 84 points. Week 10, 88 points. Week 11, 89 points. So when I
Let's see here.
lose, it's when I score under 90 points. When I win, it's anything over 100. And my lowest total that I've taken a win on is 105, and that was week 2.
Wow. I've won on like 79 points. But
Dude, isn't that crazy though?
That
It's
is
like
wild.
you hit
And two of those
if
losses
I
were against Michael. Michael
dude, I
gave you
know
half of
against a
his wins
guy
is on you.
he don't even he don't even freaking play. He
Let's
don't
see
set a
here.
lineup or crap. It's
See,
like
one of them was on
it's so
Bruno.
frustrating.
Two of them were on you. One of them was on Bruno. And let's see here. One of them was on
Six out
Alfonso.
6 out of the 11 wins though, I scored 120 points or more.
All I can say, I've never lost to Michael. The guy who beat you twice.
Yeah. That's how she goes, man. That's it in a nutshell. Like you lose, that's oh man, it's just like the NFL too though. Like the worst team in the league, like just absolute terrible team, you know they're gonna get the number one overall pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And they end up going beating like some team that ends up making it to like the conference championship game or something in the regular. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's literally it. Like they just have one good game, you know. Like
You know, it would be really wild.
as the saying goes, you know, a blind squirrel still finds a nut every once in a while. So it happens.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting.
What's that?
Is if we both lose in the first round of championships.
Oh my gosh, I would don't.
Third and fourth end up winning.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that evil on me.
Imagine if Stinky won.
Yeah, guess what? Knock on wood. I ain't doing that.
Plywood.
Some salt to throw over my shoulder. Oh man. I can't believe you do that.
That'd be wild.
Put that out there in the universe like that. Shame on you.
I think what's likely is probably, and this is what I'm hoping, but I'm thinking what's likely is we'll probably end up playing each other. I think that's probably the likeliest scenario.
I'm not gonna look too far ahead because like as it is right now,
it's true.
I gotta play Stinky in the semifinals, and I would rather take Brentwood. I think. Just after. I mean, I beat him twice this year.
Who is Brent? Yeah. He's looking to lose. And, although, granted, if he loses, he's out. He's out of the championship. He's out of the playoffs. Right. So then you'd be looking at
what
most wanted.
It's showing you a projected of like where people are right now. Currently, if the season ended today, Brentwood's the number 3 seed. You'd be playing him. I'd be playing Stinky. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest, I don't want to play Stinky. I beat him in week 2, 105 to 103, and then I got my ass murdered by him, 153 to 89 in week 11.
Oh, he's the one who kicked your butt.
So he's got a team that could freaking go off, just like mine could. And so yeah, I think I would rather see Brentwood because Brentwood I beat him. He put up 104, I put up 107, and then just this last week 71. So I feel like that's a better matchup.
Although technically Stinky is the better choice because overall his teams have put up less.
Honestly, the better choice would be to get Casey in the playoffs.
I mean,
because he scored 80 points against me both times I played him.
I mean, just because we'd like to see Casey in the playoffs. I'm
not saying throw the game, but no, we don't do that here.
Let's see. If I was to try to throw the game, let me think. What would I do?
Just put like all your players on the bench.
First of all, I'd swap out Josh Allen. I'd put in Justin Herbert. In which he's questionable. He might not even play. So that could just throw everything off.
You know what would be even funnier is if you swapped all your good players for like all your like mediocre bench players, and then you just dominated Casey because those are the guys. Like that would
That would be
happen.
insane.
That happens. Oh
Although, you know,
man.
even my benched players aren't actually terrible because a lot of my benched players are players that I've been using, like
Yeah.
Schultz for my
Like
tight end. I've been
Brian
using most of the
Thomas.
time. Cameron Dicker, I think he is probably just like more of a backup. But like Brian Thomas Jr., Darnell Mooney, they've
Mhm.
been sitting in my roster for a good chunk of this. Tony Pollard has been, I think, he's been my flex for a while. They're all good performers, decently at least. When they do well, they can do well. So my bench wouldn't be. I can't swap out my main players for my bench. I mean, I lost pretty much all of the best players that I had when I
Yeah.
first
The
drafted.
injury.
Almost all of them are gone.
Yeah.
I think my team is pretty. I think the only two players I think that I still have from my original team are Josh Allen and Nico Collins.
I've had that turnover before
Let's see.
in years.
Wait, whatever happened to
Just
Kyron
swapping out
Williams?
people.
Let's see here.
No,
Let's see,
Kyron, well,
Ingram.
You would have
I
drafted
had him
him.
on. I'm looking at my first week, and I had him on there.
Yeah.
I don't remember why I would have got rid of him.
You didn't. You still have him.
What?
Yeah, I'm looking at your roster right now. He's your running back.
Oh my gosh. I'm blind. Okay, so Kyron Williams. So that's number 3. Tony Pollard, I still have him. Rashee Rice got injured out for the season. Deontay Johnson suspended. I don't remember why I got rid of him. Probably because of something or other.
He hasn't been doing diddly squat all year.
That's probably why.
He hasn't.
I got rid of Dallas because Dallas wasn't doing me any good. Brandon Aubrey is a kicker. Do I still have him?
Damn! Did you see you went up 23 points on your team level? You went up 23 points.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Bruno went up 33 points. Yeah.
I only went up 9. I'm a little upset. I only went up 9. I went through, right? So I went 5-1 in Yahoo leagues. Okay. My one loss, I lost by like 20, 25 points. Because that team's it's been bad all year. I've been barely able to put it together. But that 20, so I'm minus 25. If you take my margin of winning across the 5 wins, I was like plus 200 points. Because I put up 174, 166, 182 or something like that, 122, and then like another 170. And everybody I played, I either dominated like real big or by like 15, 20 points at least. Like it was pretty large. So I was plus 200, and I beat several other managers that were in that diamond platinum level and everything. So it's supposed to be bigger, and I get plus 9. Like that's just crap. They also make it where once you hit diamond, it's a lot harder to move up. So
I would expect so.
like,
yeah, because you probably have a cap of 1,000. I'm sure.
Yeah, you might.
Honestly, so, if I had another really good week and I went up another 23 points, I'd get up to gold.
Which would be great because you started at bronze.
Well, yeah, and it's right. Like
you started at bronze because it's your first year. So you hit gold. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What would be even better is if you at least win 3rd place, then you get a trophy, right? Because bronze 3rd, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So you get 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So top 3 finish is going to give you a trophy. And I mean, either way that goes, it's one of those things where That'd be pretty cool. Your first year, you get up to gold, which, like, as you play in the playoffs and everything, like, as long as you keep winning and stuff, then yeah, your points will still go up and everything.
Because like
Um,
do you get like extra points for winning in playoffs?
I don't think so.
No.
I think they look at it as like wins and then who you're beating. So like if you beat a platinum player, then you're going to get more points than beating a bronze player. But I think that's why it's kind of hard as like as a diamond. Like when you're at that diamond level, you are the top like 1% or
So
whatever.
everybody you beat is below you.
Yeah. Unless you're playing other diamond players, you know. So it's like so then really everybody you beat below you, it's less of a bump up and everything. Um, even though like I would say like platinum's like pretty well, you know. Um,
Pretty good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, like I'm diamond in hockey and everything, and I went up really quick thanks to a couple. I want to say it was like during COVID or something. The 21-22 season or something like that. I went undefeated in the regular season and then went through the playoffs undefeated and won a championship. So I didn't lose a single game that year, and my score just fucking shot right up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Um,
I mean, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody like. I mean, as far as I've heard, any of the people I've talked to, nobody has seen that kind of thing happen. And I was like, if that happened for me, like that was kind of what I was saying. I was
going
like, is
going
like if that
undefeated,
happened, I go through the entire season undefeated. I'd be like, that's it. I'm out of fantasy. Um,
dude. It's so hard to do because, like, as you
of
can
course,
see, every single week is like so finicky. You know, like hockey is different because hockey you have different like it's not just one game per team a week. Like hockey you're playing 3 or 4 games a week and like your players are putting up an aggregate score from Monday through Sunday.
hmm
So you can finesse your points and everything and add drop players, within a limit to be able to try to get extra games played to accumulate more points. So it is still a little bit more difficult. Um, However, you still have those times where like some of your best players hit a slump and they're not really scoring a whole lot of points and everything. So
yeah.
um, okay, so it was 2018 to 2019. I went so in 2018 I took a step back. Um, let's see here. For reference, I started in 2017, I believe.
Okay.
Um, so 2018, I dropped down to a low of 615, unless it says I'm gonna be different here. So 2018 ended with a 615. 2019 all the way up to 835.
Dang.
I went from silver to platinum in one season, and that was a great year. And then 2020 was the COVID year and everything. I didn't go undefeated that year, but I ended up winning the championship. It was back to back, and then dropped a couple, I believe. One last year. This year I'm doing all right. Anyways, that's hockey. We're not talking hockey. So one more week.
Last week.
One more
If
week.
I if I
Then
win if I
it's
win this, Casey's out for good. Uh,
yep.
if Casey wins, very good chance he could be in the playoffs. So
Which would be a great setup, honestly. Like if Stinky loses, Casey wins, Brentwood wins. I think you'd have a good matchup against Brentwood.
Well, if it's because if Brentwood
Casey
and
could
Stinky
be.
win, if Brentwood and Stinky win, they're secured. If
Mhm.
either one of them loses, then either Casey or Most Wanted could sneak in those spots,
Could sneak in.
depending
Yeah.
on who wins, who loses, really.
I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be honest. Like as much as I can sit here and look at like, oh yeah, like certain matches have been more beneficial for me and everything.
It's
I'm
a toss-up.
definitely not gonna. Well, I'm not gonna fall into the trap that NFL teams do when it comes to playoffs when they're like, no, we want to play this team because we're gonna beat their butt, and then what happens is the exact opposite. So I'm not gonna sit here completely wish to get Casey or anything. I'll take who I get in the first round and hopefully get
The way I see
the
it, it's a
best
toss-up no matter who you play.
matchup.
It can go either
Oh yeah,
way. No matter who you play, it could go either way. Whether it's
as
Brentwood,
long as I
Stinky, Most
score
Wanted, or
100
Casey.
points, as long as I score 100 points, I'm fine so far. So far. So, knock on wood. Hopefully I don't.
Just wait. You're in the play
Yeah,
or
I said something. Now I'm gonna.
championship. We're both in the championship, and we both score 100 points, and I get more than you.
and you just eke me out. Yeah.
You get like 105 points. I get 167 points.
Yeah, you
or
love
113.
that, wouldn't you?
I'd love getting 167 points any day.
Oh yeah.
But
all right, we'll see you next week for a playoff primer and everything.
Yeah.
And
big week.
Yeah, I mean this is almost like a bye week for us, just because like we don't have anything to play for. We're locked in where we're at, but it is what it is.
I just want to make that win loss just stack up. I want my win loss higher.
Yeah, you're playing for pride at this point.
Yeah.
That's
I want a
10-5.
I'd rather have a 10-5 than a 9-6.
Yep.
So
yeah. Makes it look a lot better. Yeah. Win 2/3 of your game.
Yeah.
That's good. So, all right, we will talk to you next week, and have a good night.
Bye.